The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised. Greetings, Earthlings. Another week of broadcasting right here on the John Lebang Show is coming your way. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another hour of the John Lebang Show. I'm your host, John Lebang, and we got some interesting stuff to talk about this evening, so let's begin. Scientists warn of mysterious and deadly new epidemic called Disease X that could kill millions around the world. The World Health Organization has added the unknown feature pathogen to its list of deadly threats to mankind. An unknown and deadly new illness dubbed Disease X has been added to the list of potential global epidemics that could potentially kill millions. And unlike other pathogens, it is not known what causes Disease X or how doctors could try to treat it. This so-called Disease X could even, ladies and gentlemen, be man-made. Rather than a fluke of nature, there are growing fears that the use of and development of chemical and biological weapons are on the rise. And close to home, the police have confirmed that a nerve agent, probably created by a lab by a state-sponsored scientist as a targeted weapon, was used to attack a former Russian spy and his daughter in Salisbury this week. So now we have another pathogen, another virus, another health issue that is growing, and the scientists are worried because they don't know whatever this Disease X is, if it's a natural thing or it's man-made, but I think they're leaning to the man-made side of things, and it wouldn't surprise me because we've been dabbling in chemical weapons and bioweapons for ages now. It's no new secret. So when we're presented with the possibility of a new pathogen that could wreak havoc on the world, it's not going to scare me in the least, or at least it's not going to surprise me in the least. In fact, nothing much ever surprises me. So that's another thing we're having to keep our eye out for, as if there's just not enough bad things that happen on this planet for us to worry about. Now we have to worry about that there's a possible man-made pathogen out there going to kill millions of people around the world. We had Ebola that didn't quite transpire as they thought it would. We've had other scares in the recent years that haven't turned out as scary as they projected it to be. So either our health organizations around the world are doing a fantastic job, or they're sending up red flags for no reason at all. In other news, we have Trump to meet North Korean leader by May. That's right, President Donald Trump has accepted an offer of a summit from the North Korean leader, Kim Ding Dong, as we dub him here. And he will meet with him sometime by May, so probably in April. And this was negotiated by a South Korean official in what would be considered by the mainstream media as a remarkable turnaround in relations between the two historic adversaries. Or is it just more political theater? Kim Ding Dong and the Twitter Don are going to get together. Now that will be an interesting conversation. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when they have their meeting. Hello, Mr. Kim. I mean Ding Dong. Gotta tell you, I love the name.
Oh, most honorable to meet you. I'm a big fan. Would you like some kimchi?
No, thanks. Let's get down to business. Because if we get done early enough, I'm going to try to visit Vlad on this trip.
I understand.
So what do you want to talk about?
I have missiles and I want stuff.
No offense, Kim, but that's not much of a threat. We shot down the one you fired at Hawaii. It was a big, huge fail. Don't you remember?
I do.
You know, it was so weak we even called it a false alarm. Nice try, though.
We will not be threatened by America.
Listen, we wouldn't even pay attention to your country if you would just mind your own business and keep your big mouth shut.
Well, we want things.
I'll make a deal with you.
What is that?
I need a huge win in foreign policy so I can get reelected in 2020. If you give up your nuclear program, or at least pretend you are, I'll hook you up with Stormy. We're really good friends, if you know what I mean.
I'll have to think about it.
That's all I ask. Now, before I go, I'd like to ask you about my friend Dennis Rodman. Have you talked to him lately? He won't return my calls after I fired him for misspelling Melania's name.
He is happy we are talking.
Good. Tell him to call me sometimes.
I will do that.
All right, I gotta go. Meeting Vlad for lunch. It's gonna be huge. So what are gonna come out of these talks? Who knows? If you ask my opinion, they're giving Kim Ding Dong some legitimacy by even having talks with this guy. All he's been doing is spouting off, throwing missiles around, acting irresponsible as a leader, and here's Donald Trump gonna sit down with him, have a conversation with him, giving him some legitimacy. Hopefully they do it in South Korea or some neutral country like China, and old DT doesn't head over there to North Korea. Maybe we should invite him over here. Let's have a state dinner, Mr. President. Bring in Kim Ding Dong and all the other ones. Bring in Ahmadinejad over there in Iran. Isn't he trying to run, or wasn't he trying to run for president again? Bring them all in. All these crazy whack jobs from around the world. Bring in Putin. Shoot, you can have Nancy Pelosi there and Hillary. Bring them all in and have a giant state dinner and just have yourself a good time. Do it here in America. In a companion story to Trump, Anderson Blooper is going to interview Stormy Daniels for 60 minutes. The president and the porn star has been a top story over the past few weeks due to allegations that date back to 2006. Supposedly, she had a consensual relationship with the Twitter Don that year. And before the president was elected president, she was paid apparently $130,000 through a non-disclosure agreement to not talk about it, to not discuss it. I have a few questions for the audience out there. Do you even care that Donald might have had a relationship with a porn star, if he actually did? What about the fact that this is a porn star we're talking about, and Anderson Blooper is stooping that low to get dirt on the Donald, that they're going to believe a porn star, they're going to talk to a porn star resurrect her career, help her career out. Now she's going to be known by more people. Just to discredit Donald Trump, a porn star who, if this is all true, agreed to not talk about their relationship, got paid for it, and now she wants to back out of the deal because apparently the Donald didn't sign it. But the Donald is not actually on the supposed contract that she is talking about. This agreement, so to speak. And the Donald's lawyers paid her all this money to shut her up or something. Do you really, as the American taxpayer, as the American voter, do you really care that DT might have had a relationship and didn't really want it to come out? And if this isn't true, or also, do you believe a porn star who took $130,000 to keep her mouth quiet, obviously she's not a millionaire. There's all this money Donald has, and apparently $130,000. Is she going to give that money back if she doesn't? If the agreement, because she's suing to talk about this stuff. Maybe she can get more money for it on the news networks and writing a book about it. See, that's where I think all this is going. Doesn't matter to me that the president had some kind of relationship with some porn star. Nobody cared about or nobody cares anymore about Mr. Clinton's many different kinds of relationships he's had with very young people who he probably didn't pay to shut their mouth up, and that's why he got in trouble over it. Nobody cares about it. So if nobody cares about Bill Clinton's extramarital relationships, then why should anybody care about Mr. Donald Trump's extramarital relationships or relationships outside of with a porn star? Do you guys care? I want to know. Does that hurt his credibility with you because he slept with a porn star who had big old things, and who is, if he did it, because I don't know if he did it, and it doesn't matter to me, but does it matter to you, John and Jane Doe out there in Radioland? Do you really care if the president had a relationship and then told her to keep quiet about it because he was going to be president? And how trustworthy is she? How honorable is she that if she did make an agreement, now she's trying to back out? Probably because there's more money in disclosing stuff like that than there was in keeping it quiet. So she's going to break her agreement, or trying to find a way to break her agreement. And then she was on a TV show, Kimball's, the other day, or whatever his name is, another schmeckle on mainstream media. And he's asking her all sorts of questions. She didn't confirm anything. So we'll leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Do you even care if Donald Trump had a relationship with a porn star? We've got to take a quick time out because we're right up against it, folks. More on the flip side, as we have so much more to talk about on the other side of this.
Now don't get your panties all worked up.
The John Lebang Show will be right back.
And you'll love it.
CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services.
Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births, and deaths, epic concerts and festivals.
Rock and roll unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort